Looks like I'm good. Says going live. It says that I am live. What's good, everybody? How you doing, friends? We are back for another fun and exciting day of creation stuff. So I'm just going to double check, make sure everything's looking good over here on my end. Let's see. It's telling me stuff that I don't need to know about. So, okay, cool. Looks like everything's good. Nice. Let me just double check the audio. Yep. All right, cool. Cool. All right. So I'm going to pop this out and then monitor the live chat. Should anybody show up. So one of the things I want to go over today, thank you for everybody that joined me yesterday. I kind of teased this guy right here. We have the kind of a buried Santa, and I started posting this on my socials earlier. This is something that you might have seen if you watched D-Will and I a few days ago. Monday, it was on Monday. We were doing a different creative project, and actually, no, I was actually working on this creative project. So what I want to do is I want to finish this up. This is a Photoshop piece of artwork. So obviously I don't need work in progress. I'll leave that there, but I'll just get rid of that. Let me just bring this guy down. It's making it hard to see. There we go. That's actually better. So this is kind of like my Christmas card, if you will. So I'm going to be chat test poop. Yep. Looks like poop works. Thank you, Mad Wombat. There we go. Let me just test it out. Yep. Okay, cool. Looks like it works on my end too. All right. So this guy here is Buried Santa. It's an idea that I had last year, and I started last year, and I didn't get super far. I pulled in some of the assets, and I'll just run through those real quick. So let's see. Let's backtrack this thing just so you can kind of get an idea. So I had the dirt, which I grabbed from Adobe Stock. Yeah, Adobe Stock. And then I just masked that out, or I content aware fill, or no, I did that with a clone stamp tool. So I just got rid of the hands, and then played with some different darkness levels. But then we got, I threw in with AI, I did some generative fill with these. This I did on Monday with D-Will. Just threw in some different lights, and you can see here, these are some of the different options that it gave me. Actually, let me turn off the light colors because let's see. So this, there we go. That's kind of crazy. I think it wasn't, it might've been this one that I ended up going with, but you can see here, I actually did this twice, and it just said colorful Christmas lights. And so it gave me this option. These top three options were the second ones, and I appreciated what it was trying to do. It played around with some different levels. I think those ones were the best. Yeah, those are the ones that I ended up going with. And then these ones, you can see AI doesn't do a perfect job. It does a pretty good job, but you got these kind of janky bits there. So, and these are kind of diodes. I mean, that's what LEDs are, but they're kind of like straight up. So it's not kind of classic Christmas lights. And another set that I didn't really go for. So these are the ones that I went with. And then I ended up putting a curves adjustment layer here to darken the ground, darken the dirt. And I added a little bit of extra darkness, but so that's where we're at right now. This one, for some reason, is white versus yellow, which wasn't really an issue because I was going to color these anyway. So the other day I ended up adding some color to that, and that's just some hue saturation adjustment layers. So I should actually label these real quick. So this one, I did green, blue, and then this one was what? Red, I think. Yeah. So we're just going to call that one red. And if you're not familiar with hue saturation adjustment layers, what you do is you throw the adjustment layer over the layer that you're looking to affect. And then you can just, so like in the red, so if you look at these red tones here, what I can do is I can change those to whatever color that I want by adding this color up here. And then this one is, I actually have it on colorize. So what it's going to do is whatever color I choose, this like teal color, if I choose red, if I choose yellow, then that's what's going to add to the whole picture. But I have it masked out so that it's just the areas that I want to show. So let me go back because I want to get my red back. And you can adjust the saturation if I wanted them really popping, but I'm not going to do that. I probably will in a little while, but we're just kind of working on the basics. And then of course I have the skull. Let's go down here. And the skull was actually, okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to say, I don't remember. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So these two, I'm actually going to label these as orange just so, because I'm going to turn off the other ones just so you can see. And I want to make sure that I don't turn those ones on. So this is what the skull was originally. I got this from Envato Elements, not supported by them, not sponsored by them, but I love using Envato Elements. They have all sorts of cool stuff. You know, photos, videos, graphics, you know, the whole gambit, audio. That's where I get all my music and sound effects, basically everything. But this actually was a 3D image. And so what you can do is you can tell it, I need a skull. And then you can rotate that skull at whatever angle that you want, and then export that as a flattened image. So like this isn't a 3D STL that you could print, but it is something that I could say, hey, I want this facing straight towards me, or maybe I want a profile view, or just like 3/4, whatever. There's so many cool things that you can do. So that's what that guy is, just as is. Let's see, what did I do? Oh yeah, there's a little bit of I just masked out. You can't really see it. But there's a little bit of a shadow right here that comes with it. So I just masked that guy out. So then with some generative fill, because D-Will and I were having fun and he hadn't really used generative fill much before, I decided to make a mask and make some eyeballs. I just said icy blue eyeballs inside sockets. And so this... this one makes me giggle. This was the first one that it gave me. And if you're not familiar, it gives you in Photoshop, it spits out 3 different options for the first time. And then each time you do it, it gives you another 3. So this one here, and then this weird one too. But I mean, it's not wrong. Icy eyeballs. So it knew I was making eyeballs, and then, you know, it kind of made them icy. This one's a little more snow-like. This one's obviously very icy-like. And these are like just ice spheres. And I don't know if I'm going to go with this, but I might. So I kind of like it. But then I wanted to see what it would do if I just had another go at it. I didn't change anything. And then this time, for some reason, it went very different. Those kind of look like, I don't know. Is this one that looks like eggs? I don't know why. And then that guy, I don't know what that is. Pardon me just for a sec. Got some tea here. I know, Wombat. I know. Ted Lasso would just say it's dirty, muddy water, but it's later in the day, and I don't want to be drinking coffee too late. By the way, I've been binging Ted Lasso again, and oh god, season 2 isn't as good as season 1. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. But I'm at that kind of awkward relationship stage right now with Rebecca. Not my relationship, but like she's in that relationship. And there's nothing wrong with it, especially second time around, you know, it's coming. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. Anyway, so what do we got here? We got just some curves adjustment layer just to kind of darken this and make it a little more impactful. And then, so what I'm doing is I'm making the skull really dark because I'm going to pull that away. So I'm making it dark first, and then I'm going to highlight some areas. So, what I'm also going to do is, you can see here, I got some green, and let me pull off that darkness, because then you'll probably be able to see a little better. So I got the green light there because it's coming from directly over here. And then I got some blue. So it's kind of, you know, it's mixing right here. And then I think I get some red a a little bit further down. Yeah, so it's just the lights mixing. So I'm going to be playing around with that. Those are weird eyes are really freaking me out. So I'm going to actually remove the eyes entirely. I for right now, I'm not going to have those in because they are a little distracting. They are really cool, but I want to see about just if I like it without eyeballs. Okay, so we're going to have, I might do this just. No, okay. All right, so we get that like that. And then I have a beard that I'm playing with. I don't know if I'm going to use it. This was pulled from the original image, which was this guy. You can see that's very warped, but there's the original Santa image that I grabbed, and then I took his hair, or his beard, and I took his hat initially, and I warped it to match the skull. Come on now. And it doesn't. Okay. It doesn't want to turn. Oh, bummer. Okay. So let's do this all over again. Sorry, guys. Okay. Bringing that back. What else? Where's the lights? Oh, I need to turn those all on too. Because I'm a dummy. Cool. Skull. This needs to get turned back on. So what I did was I hit the Alt or Option button, which turns off everything but that layer. And then I must have hit something else because then it didn't want to undo that. So we're forced to go through this, and I apologize. Hat. Okay, let's just throw all of them on. And there's still one more layer that's not turned on. It's a light layer. Okay. Oh, and I Command Z'd, so I went a step back after I did that because I was also dumb. So I think maybe I undid something that I should have had did. That's not the right. Okay, so I think it was this. I had originally moved this up. There it is. Okay, so originally I had moved that back up there. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. So let's go back up to the hat because that is where we were at. The hat's where we're at. Okay, we're going to turn off the beard for now. And then let's see, turn off these guys. So I showed you the Santa. This is the same thing. And so originally what I was doing is that I had this from the original image and I warped it, and ignore that little puffball there. And as I was showing D-Will those that AI, he ended up, I said, hey, let's see if AI will do a hat. And sure enough, it did. And it made it better than having, like you can see here, when I initially masked this out, I was going to have to kind of play around with this to get rid of his grizzled hair. But instead of doing that, I just had AI make me a hat. And that's the best one that I liked, which was, let's see. You can see the three options here. So let me just pull those up real quick. So I had this one, which I also kind of liked just because it was different. And then this guy, which is kind of a weird one. It kind of married, which AI does this a lot, especially with hands. It'll kind of mix two different positions, or like you can see it's like having the long version and then also has a little puff ball. This is a little weird too. Sometimes you'll see people like if they're running or you'll see two hands on one wrist. You'll see one up here and one like holding the hammer or whatever you're telling it to do. Or oftentimes they're running and like one leg, they have three legs instead of two legs. So AI sometimes gets a little weird. But what I did was I took this one, which is the first one, and I warped it a little bit more. And I ended up, you can see down here on the bottom, there's a little puff ball that's not quite done. So I just cloned it. Or I didn't clone it. I'm sorry. I copied it, pasted it, flipped it around, kind of adjusted it and masked it. And then I started adding some darkness to it. And just to make this a smaller file, I'm going to get rid of original Santa. There we go. Is that, yeah, it's just that. Why did that? Oh, man. What's interesting is that, watch, if I hit delete there, it kind of darkens the background a little bit. I'm not sure why. Not this guy. I don't need this, I don't think, anymore. Oh, no, okay, I'll keep it. That's the darkness. Okay. So let's actually throw that beard back on. I'm still not sold on the beard. I kind of like the skull by itself. But here's the thing. I have to make a decision. Third, no good, Mad Wombat says. What do you think? Oh, you're talking about the hat. Like the hat balls thing, I think. What do you think, Wombat? Should I have the beard or no beard? I could go either way, but here's the thing. I need to make the decision basically now, because I need to start coloring in, or I'm going to shortly be coloring in the colors from the reflecting of the lights, and then also the darkness and everything. So you let me know. I'm not sold on it. I'm kind of leaning no beard. I kind of like this, but I'll throw it to the group. All right. So we got this guy. Okay, so that's now you're all caught up. You prefer beard, long, weird, white hat. Yeah. Well, anyway, so this is the one I'm going to go with, because I did put it looks a little more classic. I did put a little bit of effort into it, not a ton. But I do have two things. You can see I have to mask this out. You can see there's a little bit of right here. There is a little bit of lightness, and that's from, I can just mask that out. So if I just, yeah, okay. So I'm going to pull out my trusty tablet here. And start running around here. Okay, so we have, you know what, what's this here? I just want to see here. So we got, yeah, I guess I'll keep going this way. So, all right, so we got this guy. I might have to increase my brightness. I can't really. Okay, this is where it gets a little difficult, because I got this bright white light right here, and it's kind of throwing me off. But you guys need to be able to see my beautiful face. So what can I do? All right, so we're going to bring this filter down here. All right. So the thing about masks is that they're amazing. Masks, if you don't know, are basically, they're non-destructive. So a lot of us in the beginning of working with Photoshop, we have a tendency to cut things out or erase them using the eraser tool. And we all start that way until you learn about masking. And basically all masking just means is you see this red area, or this bit here that's in red. I have the mask overlay on. So if no, we don't. It's okay. Oh, you don't have to see my face? Yeah, totally. I totally get you. But you're forced to see it. I'm going to make you. Sorry, Wombat. That's what you get. Okay. So masking, all it does is the original image is here. Okay, you can see it over here on the left. And then right here, actually, let me see if I can remember how to change the size of these thumbnails just to make it a little bit easier. Thumbnail view, I'm not going to take too long to look for it. I know that there is an option. It might be under here. Well, whatever. I'm going to assume that you guys, actually, you know what? I think I can I do this? Well, let me see. You should be able to see this. I'm zooming in on my my screen here. Let me just, I'm going to wait for just a second and view the live stream just to make sure that it is what you can see. Come on. There's like it might be like a 20-second lag. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, over here on the left is the image, and then over here on the right is the mask. You can see that this one is black with a little bit of white popping out, and this is the opposite. It's white with a little bit of black popping out. So what you want to do is the image, if you play with masks, then all you're doing is everything in the white is visible. Everything that's black is not. So think of the black as like a curtain. And so you can see in this case right here, this one is linked to this little puffball. So if I turn that off and on, you can see the actual image that's being affected. So yeah, you tell him, Max. Oops. So if I were to do the opposite and paint with black, you'll see, and let's bring this up to 100%. You'll see that I'm actually getting rid of it. Okay. So that's showing up here. Right. So I'm masking it out, but if I were to turn off the mask, you can see the original image. I'm not erasing it. So I can always have access to that. I could always redo the mask. I can always, instead of painting black, let's say that I kind of screwed that up and it's, oh man, I could Command or Control Z it, or I can just paint back with the white and say, this is what I want visible. Right. Okay. I'm just going to Command Z because I already had it pretty good. So there's two ways that I could do this right now. I could, what I'm trying to do is, you see this kind of like this lighter color. I know that this lighter color is actually part of the original hat. So you can see I turn it on and off. So I'm going to turn off my little puff ball and I'm going to say, I could do it on the individual layer. Did he really? Bowie just barked back. Yeah. Dogs barking in solidarity. So you have two different options. There's all sorts of options, but the two different ones that I'm going to talk about is, depending on what it is, I have a tendency to mask out the layer itself. But if you look here, I have a hat right here. Is like everything inside this is the hat. And I could, if I want to, I wouldn't have to mask these out individually. I could just add a mask to the hat layer. And then anything that I mask out in the hat layer is going to be masked out. Like none of this other stuff is going to be visible where it's black in the hat layer. So you could do that depending on whatever works for your workflow. In this particular case, I'm not going to do that. I am going to, especially because I already have a mask for this guy. So I'm just going to manipulate that mask a little bit. So if I hit the backslash key, which is just above the enter key on the keyboard, then that pulls up the overlay. So I'm just going to color these out. Oh, the other thing is I'm going to hit Shift 1 because I almost always work with a low flow. So that's up here. So you could click on flow and bring it left or right. You could just drag it, or you can drag it here, or you can type in whatever you want. Right? There's so many different ways you can do different things. I prefer flow versus opacity for a number of reasons. I will show you that in just a second, because flow, both of them end up letting you build up the line that you're making. And you could make this over here. It's totally cool. It doesn't matter where you put this. You can see over there, it's not going to block anything out unless I put something behind it, but that's not currently being affected. It's not affecting anything on the layer, but it doesn't matter where you, like if you go off kind of the background, the beaten path there. So let's see, we're going to undo that guy there. And then, cool, that's looking good. So let me show you real quick. let me show you this real quick. I'm going to show you because I did mention this yesterday when we were doing those photos. Let's take a brush and I'm going to select like a fuchsia, or maybe I'll just do a red. Okay. So if you're going to take, this is with a flow of 10. Let me show you. Flow of 100. Okay. I'm just making the lines and they're going nice, right? This is a somewhat soft brush, but it doesn't matter. Okay. So let me do that. Now I'm going to do a flow of 10. Oop, it's taking a hot sec. Oh, because I'm saving it. Sorry. Force a habit. And this is a big file. This is a gig and a half, which I don't normally do this big of a file, except that I know that I'm going to want to print this. And I know that I'm going to want to print this. I want the ability to print this as a very, like a, you can see it 18 by what, 36, 18 by 24. So I'm 18 inches by 24 inches. So it's a very large file and it's 300 pixels per inch. Mad Wombat says, I feel like I prefer the beard because its lower jaw seems extra big for some reason. I could see that. Like he has a long face. Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that. Let me turn the beard on so that way we get kind of used to seeing it. I also kind of like the grizzled look of that. I'm going to have to adjust the colors, obviously, but I kind of like, it makes the teeth look more ragged also. And so I'm just, one of the things I'm going to have to figure out is where like this would connect. Would it just be like behind that cheekbone? I'm going to have to make a creative decision because I've never actually seen a real skeleton with beard. With beard hair rather. So yeah, I'll have to play with that, but so if I'm going to do the flow, so just to go back here real quick. So flow of 100, opacity of 100. So you can see it's a somewhat soft brush, but there you go. Bang. That's just one stroke. It does it nice and solid. So if I go to flow 10 and do the same thing, you see how that's very much lighter. And if I go like this, I'm going to show you because I'm going to do this. I don't know if this is really going to translate very well. So that's with the flow of, you know what, let me, come on. There we go. Oops. Let me do this. I'm going to actually make this a little bit bigger. Boom. So that's a flow of 10. And so this is the very important bit. So if you see here, whoops, if you see here where it overlaps, there's no additional color added. If I lift up and go over again, then sure, there is. But if I were to do that the opposite, and let's say that it's 10% opacity instead, it's a little hard to tell. So what I'm going to do is I'll say 50%. So there's that one. Okay. And then the first layer, I don't know if this is going to translate well with the compression of YouTube, but initially, do you see this like this square where it's a little bit brighter, where it has been overlapped? This might not be the best either. So let me do this. And then this is actually one of those things that I get asked about occasionally. It's not the... There we go. So let's see here. So here's my opacity, right? And as I go over, you see how the overlap, actually, it's just kind of like a highlighter where it's giving it like a second dose there. Whereas this would be flow at 10%. Let me go 50% just to, whoops. Come on. Okay. So this is the flow. This is actually not really a good example. There we go. If you keep your tablet down, I can go over the same spot like this as much as I want. It's not going to affect it. It's going to stay that same 50% transparency. Okay, I'm not sure if that makes sense. I think it makes sense, but we're going to move on because that's not what you came here for. Okay. Yo, what's up, D-Will? How you doing? Working on that buried Santa. Oh, I understand. I get it. And if I get it, I think you're good. Okay, cool. Thanks, Wombat. I appreciate it. Oh God, I hit the save button again. Okay. I got to stop doing that. I have that as a habit where every couple minutes I'll save stuff, especially after I delete or add layers. I've been burned too many times. Okay, so let's get to actually doing this, shall we? All right, cool. Because I'd love to actually finish this today. All right, so what I want to do is I don't want that dirt to be so dark. I do want it to be dark, but it is really dark. So what I'll do, I get it on as a multiply. There you go. That's better at the moment. And you know what I am going to do? I am going to turn down this light because it's a little bit too much. But I know you guys don't really need to see me. You're not here for that. D-Will, we got to show people that video thing. We'll do it on the next live stream that you and I are both doing. Okay, so I'm going to reduce that light. That actually helps quite a bit, but I feel like I'm going to be way too dark. But if I enhance this, give me a sec, this will give me a live view. Oh yeah, I'm really dark, but the magic of cinema. There we go. Yeah, good enough. Let's run it, he says. Surprise, surprise. All right, I know that you're not held hostage, so that's good. Thanks for giving me the code word, D-Will. All right, so let's move this guy over here. So what I want to do is I really want these lights to be more vibrant. So what I got to do is see about, these are all on normal. These lights are kind of key. So once I dial these guys in, then that'll let me dial in the rest of the tone. They're not going to be super bright. I kind of want to make them a little over bright for what I feel they would be, because I just want them to be a little more impactful. Maybe it's the darkness that's throwing me off. By the way, have you guys seen Violent Christmas? I think it's called Violent Christmas. It's got the guy. God damn! I just hit save again. I think it's got the guy that played the sheriff or the cop in Stranger Things. He plays Kris Kringle. It's hilarious. Not for kids. It is not for kids. And I didn't realize it came out last year, and we watched it last night while we were wrapping presents, and it's amazing. It is probably one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. I got to be honest. And the fact that it, like the movie itself, there was plot holes, but I mean, it's a Christmas movie. But it's, I can't remember the guy's name, but the main character, the guy that does, oh dude, yes, you need to finish it. Oh, what part did it get? What part did you get to? Because I don't want to give anything away. It's so good. I was cracking up. It's just sometimes, even if a movie isn't all that great, it can make you giggle. more than you would think it would. Like I don't know, as if I was in a different mood, I probably wouldn't have found it as enjoyable as I did. Okay, so let's see. That's the lights. I think what I want to do, I think this is what's throwing me off. Okay, so let me do this. Let me throw the curve layer all the way at the top. Whoa, that makes that super dark. I think that will actually solve my problem with the skull. Okay, so I got this. Let me see what happens if I just hit multiply on the skull. Okay, so I'm just going to do normal. Those look like the teeny light bulbs. That guy must have had a tiny head. Don't bring that into this, okay? Don't bring, maybe he was an elf, okay? I don't know. I need space to put text, all right? Let's see. Okay, so you want to do that? Let's see. So this is the magic of Photoshop. So let's see. I got the beard there, I got the hat. Okay, so this is all the same group. So let me actually just make that all a group. Yep. Okay, so I'm just going to say that this is the head. Whoa. Is the beard... Oh, it's not linked. So I got to link that. So then that way, let's do this. You're not wrong. I don't know if I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying, but I don't know if, let's see. Let me hit done and let me see how I feel about that. I think I might keep it small. Let's see. So there's big. There's small. I don't know. I could go either way. I kind of like. Yeah, see, you're making me question my self-worth, my being right now. Okay. And let's turn off this layer just to... I'm going to go with the smaller one. I see where you're going. I totally do. And I appreciate your input. And I might just like the smaller one more because I've been looking at it for so much longer. But no. I appreciate it. No, that's what you need. You know, I don't want to go through all this effort and then have it be something that's just like, it doesn't make sense at all. I originally was looking for the big Christmas lights, you know, kind of the traditional ones, not the ones that you throw on like a Christmas tree. But this is what it gave me, and I decided to run with it. So let's see. Hold on. Give me a sec. All right, so I wouldn't let you force me into something I didn't want to do anyway, but let's just take a look, okay? Let's hit done there, and then look at it full screen. There's only so many people that can talk to me like that, but you are definitely among the top. You know what? I'm gonna leave it that way. So I did increase them a little bit. I like it when it gets down to, you know, I don't need the rulers. So that is what, Command R. So there you go. Yeah, okay, I can dig it. I might put that there. I'm not sure exactly. This is where it gets tough. So how do I need to design the rest of this? Because if I want to actually put text on this, then I need to leave space. But I don't really think that I want to put text on it. I think, actually, what if I just use up like that? I don't think I actually want to put text on it. Maybe I'll do an overlay or something. But overall, I envision this as like a printed poster. So I think that's probably the way that I'll run. Yeah, actually, I can dig that. All right. I appreciate it. Nice. All right. So let's keep on going here. My sense of spatial awareness is too strong. Hey, I'll take it. But I could always, that's the thing about being a creative person, is that you can just create a reason as to why it looks the way that it does, even if it's wrong. Okay, so let's see. I get the color on the head, which is probably, yep, it's on the skull layer. So what I need to do now is pull these guys, not that. Okay, so pull these guys and put them at the top. Cool. So it's not wasted effort, but it's not going to feel quite right. What's interesting is that the green is not affecting the beard. It's affecting the layer underneath. But the red obviously is. Okay, what about the blue? Blue's doing the same thing, so that's weird. What about if I bring it all the way to the top? There we go. I must have some different setting or something on there. I don't know. Okay, so there we no, green is still not affecting the beard. Let's do this. Whoops. Yeah, how weird. All right. So let's do this. We know that the red is definitely affecting the beard. But when I turn the, let's see, that's at normal. That's at normal. All right, so let's bring this back up, and I'm going to keep the flow at 50%. That's interesting. Oh, does the beard have black and white on it? It does. That's why. Okay. Hey, thanks, Wombat. I appreciate you jumping in here and listen yet again to me blather along. But I'll let you know how this turns out. You'll probably see it on Insta. I'll probably throw it up there. Okay, so here we go. We got the blue copy. Nice. Okay, here we go. We're getting there. Let's get rid of that there. We don't need it there. Let's see. So I'm going to kind of really enhance this. Let's see. The blue is coming from over here. We're not going to have it over on this side. So let's make a nice soft brush. I use my pen tool or my my tablet here. Just gonna keep that there. Gonna make a nice soft brush like that. All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna get rid of it there because it's gonna definitely have a little bit of. There we go. I'm gonna leave it underneath for the moment. Let's see. And red is gonna. Whoa. All right, so we're gonna do, ooh, color dodge. Ooh, damn. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, that's nice. But that's the blue. Okay, let's go over to color dodge on this one. Oh yeah, that's not gonna be quite right. Okay, so is it maybe overlay or soft light? I really want this to be super intense, so let me do this on overlay. Soft light would be probably a little bit better in some regards, but I do want this to be like dark and grimy and grungy. All right, so let's do Let me throw that beard back up there. Oh, that really captures it. Okay. So we're going to do this. And I know that I'm going to have to pull it off. And it wouldn't be on the teeth because the beard is going to block it. Come on. There we go. We're going to block this. Maybe a little bit up there, but give me a sec and then I'll get to that. So it's definitely not really going to hit the bottom teeth. Maybe just... just a smidge. That is way too... What do I have my... Oh, it's at 50%. So let me remove all that. Bring that down to 10%. There we go. Way, 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 way better. Okay. So it's just going to hit maybe just a little bit like that. Oh, sick. Look at that. Yes. Just maybe a little like that. I'm going to have to remove it from the beard quite a bit, but we don't want it to... Let's see what happens with soft light. I feel like that might be a little bit better for the tonality. Now, why is that showing up over here, guys? It's not... Oh, it's a different layer. Okay. There's obviously some other red layer that I'm missing. Is it this one? Do I have the... No, there's another red layer somewhere. Okay, give me a sec. Oh, actually, okay. It's not the... Oops, not the hair. It's the... From the original mask when I did a selection, it's actually his skin. And so that's why I did a black and white. So if I did black and white, and then let me add the... Yeah, okay, so we get the curves. And then where's my color again? Okay, there we go. It's affecting it now, probably because I just have it on soft light, which is different. Oh, that's overlay. So let's go back down to soft light. Cool. I think that's going to give us the look that we're looking for. I do want it brighter, but I could probably change that with the lightness and definitely the saturation. Okay. That's getting there. Oops. Got to make sure that you're on that layer that you're trying to wash away there. Cool. So D-Will, you should definitely watch the movie, by the way. I know you had said that you had started it, but you didn't really get too far. It's interesting. It's good. It knows what it is, and they really dive into that. So if what I liked, this isn't going to give anything away. What I liked about it was he actually is Santa. You find that out pretty early, but I was a little bit worried that they were going to make him like, you know, he wasn't Santa and that he was just like a Santa, you know, from a mall kind of thing, but he actually is Santa. So that was really good. Ah, dude, it's such a good movie. I might watch it again. Have you ever watched Christmas Carol, D? Out there in California, when I moved out there, one of the... Come on. Oh, God, I hate this. There we go. When I moved out to Cali, I noticed that the big movie for Californians is oh God, what is that one with the leg lamp? A Christmas Story. Californians love A Christmas Story. Out here in Mass, at least when I was growing up, it's not so much the case now, but when I was growing up, they would always have marathons of... That's interesting. I might actually have to make... Maybe I'll leave it as it is. It's definitely affecting the bones way more than the hair, but that's okay. That's all right. But there used to be marathons all the time for A Christmas Story. And my dad and I, when I was growing up, we would watch every version that they showed of A Christmas Carol. And there'd be marathons. And like Dad and I didn't really watch movies all that much. And wait, what am I doing? Okay, yeah, right there. See now, because I have this as a soft light, it's not going to affect the white. So I think maybe what I have to do is just go to normal and then bring down the opacity like really heavily. Let's see here. Something like, and what I can do is I can layer that up. So I could do like a nope, come on. Oh my God. Let's go. All right. Here we go. So yeah, we watched all of them. What's your favorite version, D? I think that mine, I have two. It depends on what I'm looking for. But the there's an Albert Finney version. It's a musical. I don't really like musicals. Why is that not affecting the hat at all? Well, it is really light. But even still, that's not really... You know what? I think before I do this, I have to commit to my lighting. Okay, whoops. The Albert Finney version is stellar. I don't like musicals by default. That's probably the only musical that I can think of that I really enjoy. Yeah, of course. Yeah, The Muppets Christmas Carol is a good one. But the Albert Finney version, it's I think it was like the 80s, 70s, 80s, somewhere around there. And at least when I was younger, I had no idea that Albert Finney played both the old and young Scrooge. I thought they were two different people. And then when I got older, at one point I realized, I was like, wait a minute, that's the same guy. And he does such a great job, such a great freaking job. And then Patrick Stewart does a phenomenal job. He's a big fan of Dickens, and his is probably one of the most accurate to the actual play, with a lot of the things that they say and the way that the set pieces are placed. I'm pretty sure his does it where, like, when he's sitting there with having soup before the ghosts come, spirits, sorry, around the fireplace is those tiles, the blue and white tiles. And though that was in the book and not all of them do, it's a small thing, but it's a pretty good adaptation of the play. So he does a great job. Plus, I love me some Patrick Stewart. Okay, what was I doing? I was going to darken. What happens now if I do this? I throw these colors up above it. That is fluorescent. Okay, so let me now see what happens if I say soft light. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. So if I take and darken the whole thing, which I kind of wanted to do anyway, let me... I definitely have light. So this is something that you and I were talking about, Dee, about how I had light over here, because that's the way that it made it. So I want to incorporate that light into this. So I'm going to say, where is it? That's my overall darkness. But before I do that, where's my skull? Because I think that also has a darkness to it. It does. Why do I have two? Let me do this, because what happens if this is the problem when you make something over the course of a long time, is that you forget why you made certain decisions. Okay, so that's the overall darkness. So let me just... And then let me go over to the skull. And I'm even going to make this, but I'm going to just redo this. Okay. So that actually looks pretty good. Ignore the red, ignore the lights. All right. So what I want to do is I definitely have some, let's see, get rid of that. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just bring some of that light back here. Not everywhere. Obviously, I want most of this to be dark, but to kind of accent that light that's coming in from this direction, I want to just lighten some of those areas up just to help kind of sell it. So there we go. This is actually something that I learned. I got a really good appreciation for makeup, of all things. Do you know Aaron Nace? Do you will? I might have asked you that at some point. I'm going to call him the father of Photoshop, YouTube Photoshop tutorials, because he was around in the early days. And he was the one that I kind of followed to kind of learn this stuff. And I really dug his style. He was super cool. He still does it. What's it called? Phlearn, like Photoshop Learn, but Phlearn. He's got a crew of people at this point, and I was around when he was definitely. I think he had his studio, which looked super cool. And I got his first like Photoshop package when he first came out with them. It was like $300, but man, I spent that $300. That was before Pete McKinnon. I think Pete might have started to hit the mainstream somewhere around there, a little bit afterwards. But Pete did more like Premiere Pro and photography overall. I don't really remember him jumping into Photoshop, except for a little thing. Yeah, Aaron's awesome. You got to meet his mom. That was cool. Dude, I'm really digging these teeth. Okay, so here's my question. I know that you liked them, and I think that they're fun too, but I don't think I'm going to incorporate the eyeballs. But it's fun. I'm going to leave them alone for now. I'm going to leave them alone because I kind of like this like creepy skull vibe that's going on. One thing that I do definitely have to do is I can see the dirt, which I wouldn't be able to see the dirt. And then I know that I ended up making a layer. Did I end up turning it off? I didn't. There. Is it under here? Maybe it's under there. Nope. Okay, well, I'll just make a new one and I'll put it on the dirt. So what I need to do is just make a solid color and say black. That's fine. Invert that guy because I don't need the whole thing. I just don't want to see right there. Cool. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Ooh, that's getting there. Yeah. I used Phlearn also while I was in school. Honestly, it was awesome. It was great. What's funny though is like looking now, because of how, I guess, saturated, I'll say, how saturated this space is in Photoshop or on YouTube. I don't feel like I would spend, well, no, it's not that I don't feel like I don't spend $300 on a course anymore, because I mean, part of it is I know this stuff now, right? But let's see, where is, this was the darkness. I'll say dark contrast. And actually, let's do this. Maybe multiply and like really sell that. Or do I just want to do normal? I feel like that might be too much. Let me do that and then dial this back a little bit. That's cool. And then let me actually dodge this. Do another curves adjustment. And then enhance the lights. There we go. What I'm looking for here oh, you know what I should do? I should reverse that. How do I want to do this? I'm going to do this. That's the brightness. And I'm going to say that this one is screen. And then there we go. Darkness. That kind of matches that same tonality. The only reason why I'm doing that is because I'll say dodge. Because I realized that I was making it affect everything. Let's see. So this guy is going to come down here. And I'm going to do multiply. And then I want... There we go. Now I'm going to individually paint it. Okay. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't spend $300 on a course. I did spend, there's a guy called, oh God, his channel is Film, I think it's called Film Simplified. And he does color stuff for DaVinci Resolve, specifically the color page. Oh, wait a minute, that needs to stay bright. So this needs to get dark. And that maybe... This definitely needs to be a little darker there and definitely here. Cool. And this guy would be a little bit more dark there. But anyway, so like I did spend $100 and something bucks on that. And there's a guy, I've actually spoken to him quite a few times now. I think I told you about him. He's another drone guy, Rich Charpentier. I've mentioned him I don't know how many times, and I never know if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. Rich, if you happen to be watching this, I'm sorry. I have to ask you next time we're on the phone how to pronounce your last name. But I paid for one of his courses, which gave me a lot of good info for things like some different drone software, like Litchi. And then kind of learned his workflow. So like that was totally worth the money that I spent. And I'm not saying the others aren't worth that, but I think I'm at a point where I wouldn't spend the $300 on that stuff. Okay, so let's see. I need to, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to, I mean, I guess, no, I'll leave that. I'll leave it as is. Okay. But what I want to do is actually kind of want to fix this. I'm going to pull that. I'm going to say that it's coming from behind the cheekbone because then it kind of helps hide it. Maybe. I don't want it to be soft. That's the thing. What am I on? I'm black. Okay, so maybe if I can do this. I don't mind it being on the cheekbone, but I don't want it to look soft. Like this looks actually really good. This looks soft here, and I think it's because of the way that I warped it. So maybe what I'll do is I'm going to add another layer, and then I'm going to stamp. No, you know what I'm going to do? Rather than stamp it, I am going to do this. Okay, actually, so I'm going to take, how do I want to do this? I guess I'll, whoops. I like how it's feeling where it like bleeds in, right? I feel like that does a really good job. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to say, I'm going to select the layer that I want to copy it from, and I'm going to paste it. And oh, good. Okay, cool. It did. So Oh, I see. Part of that. Okay, 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 okay. And let's not clip it. Oh, Jesus. No. There we go. Okay, so let's zoom. T-Will, when you're in Photoshop here, I know we talked about this. Let's see, like that. I don't want you clipped though. That's the, well, I guess what I'll do is I will just open this up like that. Sure, why not? When you're in Photoshop, do you have to hit Z multiple times to get it to stick to do zoom? That's something that happened a few times around. Whoops. A few times ago. Updates. It's annoying. It's not the end of the world, but it definitely is not my favorite thing. And I have to do it literally every single time. So if I hit Z, you see how, okay, you saw it for a second, right? I'm going to hit Z. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to go over and do some other stuff. I'm going to hit Z. Oh, you son of a monkey. It's your fault. Your fault, D-Will. All right. So let's do this. Let's bring this bad boy back. Ooh, look at that. There's a couple different ways that you could do this. Like I say all the time, the way that I like to do this, what happens actually if I do this on screen? Oh, I don't want screen. Lighten. Kind of soft light. No, I like the... Okay. Kind of want to get rid of that blackness. And then let's just do this. Let me just open up this completely. So this is the original here. Yeah, okay, cool. Wait, do I even need that? Was I just being dumb? No, yeah, I do need it. Okay, so yeah, what'd you say? Use Option and scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Well, I mean that works if you're using the mouse for sure. But I'm using the little pad, so I like to just hit the Z button. Sorry, tablet. Holy smokes, that is the wrong thing. Okay. There we go. Lighten. Why is that? Maybe what I just have to bring this above all that stuff and unclip it. There we go. Okay. So D, what do you think about that sketch for 3D Arist? He was on yesterday. He was talking about like the skull with the fetus inside of it. Here, actually. Oh, come on. I know I could never. I like I said, I wouldn't do it justice. I don't know. How do you feel about it? About if you sketched it, just as a project. You don't have to. I'm just curious what your thoughts are. Maybe sampled brush, and bring this guy down. I don't really want to get too far into the weeds on this. Let's see. I need to. Whoa, it's thinking. There we go. Okay. Go over here to. I never open up the brush panel. Where is it? That's clone stamp. That's adjustments. Is it here? And then let's see. I'm I'm trying to see. This is... Nope. That's not right either. I have one that's like grass, which would be perfect. So these are, for those that don't know, these are the different brushes you can use in Photoshop. Dry media, maybe it's under my mega pack. Erasers, FX box, ink box. It's been a very long time. Coffee stains, that's a really good one. It might be under dry media. Kyle's dry media is a very cool pack if you guys ever needed it. I think this was a free pack that I got forever ago. Let's see here. I wish this might be just enough to do it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, me too. D-Will says that if he sketched it, he wouldn't be able to do it justice. What are you talking about, D? About that was interesting. Sorry, I'm only kind of looking down every once in a while at these. Oh, you know what? Let me use this guy, and then where's my rotation angle? This guy. Wait, that's the brush? Doesn't look like it should be the brush. Okay, I need long fuzzy fur. That would be it. Is this one that automatically changes? No, it's not. Okay, I need to... Here we go. Bring this down. Definitely doesn't need to be up in there. And then I'm going to rotate this. I know that there's a way, but it's been so long since I've done it that you can change the attributes on these so that they rotate. Oh, it actually looks like it is rotating it. It like adds a jitter to it so that it kind of randomly applies. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, cool. But I actually don't want it to apply that much. Okay. All right. Oh, the concept of the fetus piece. Yeah. No, it definitely was. He does. He's got a YouTube channel of his own. He does 3D artwork. If you couldn't tell, for 3D tutorials. He's going to be stepping away from that. But he does like introduction stuff to Blender. I'm not sure where he's going to go with it. He did say that he's going to be kind of adjusting. Whoops. Oh, okay. There we go. He's going to be adjusting how, what his kind of, what's it called? Format, kind of like me, in the last couple weeks, I've adjusted my format greatly. I actually really enjoy this kind of thing. And I've been wanting to get better at, there we go. That's much better. I've been wanting to get better at Photoshop. And I just haven't, it's not that I haven't had the time. There we go. Nice. Okay. So is that being affected? Why is that being affected by, is that the red? What is this? It's definitely being affected by something. It might be the red. Let me turn the red off. Next time I'm going to start a thing from scratch because this has so many different layers that I've used over time. And then you and I did something. And so like these little things. So this obviously is, I wonder if that's that same thing where, okay, hold on. I don't have it underneath the black and white layer. I think that's all I needed to do. Okay, cool. That's good enough for now, I think. Actually. Oh, God. I don't even know what I just did. It looks really cool, though. Okay. I thought that I just copied and paste. I did. Whoa. Oh, but it took, I see. It took all that stuff out. the clipping mask. Okay, so I want to do this. There we go. Okay. Okay, cool. I'm just I'm trying to make it. There we go. Just kind of building it up a little bit. So that was a long process, but that's kind of a crucial bit. And I think I like that. But then do I need to pull it up here? Maybe not. Maybe not. All right. So let's see. Let's get back into the lighting, because honestly, the lighting is where I find like all this magic happens. Okay. So let's go back. Let's see. What was I working on? I was working on the skull, and this was going to be the burn, right? Yeah, that's the burn. Oh yeah. So anyway, what I was talking about, D, was Aaron Nace, because he does a lot of the beauty stuff, like the touch-ups. I still go to his frequency separation, separation method, because it hasn't really changed much, to be honest. Pix Imperfect does another. He's, I think, more active than Aaron is at this point, at least in the YouTube sphere. And I like him also, but I really got to understand all about like contouring and highlighting and like how that changes somebody's face. Like you can make a big nose look way smaller just with makeup. And I've done it with Photoshop just to kind of learn that lighting, because that's all makeup is just manipulating the way that the light appears on your face. And so it was very interesting. So I can also talk to Maggie now about, let's see, let's bring this up over the hat. Because like I understand what she's talking about when she says stuff about contouring. Okay, so let's see. This is multiplied. We're going to command backspace. Oh, sorry, wrong way. There we go. Just block all that out. Command D, get rid of that. Let's bring back our original brush. Oh, there he is. Okay. He also, Aaron was the one that taught me this thing, where if you hold Option and Control and go left or right, it brings it up and down, or bigger and smaller, or down will make it harder, up will make it softer. That is the best thing I think I've ever learned in all of Photoshop history. That is, let's see, really dark. So what do we want to do? Darken. Let's see. Okay, so let's do this. I'm just going to do that real quick and then just kind of paint that back, because I want this. How do I want this to be? I don't want it really to multiply. Obviously, I don't want any of those. What I'm trying to do here is just tone down. Actually, what if I just change the brightness rather than the blackness? Brightness and contrast. I think I might actually do a levels instead of this, but we'll find out. Actually, that's pretty good. But the problem is, let's see, it's a little too contrasty. Let me do that. Okay. So I could do blend if, again, one of Aaron's favorite things. Give Aaron his flowers. Did I say something about flowers? I mean, no doubt, I'll give him flowers. No, I'm gonna do this. This comes down to that. You can do this so many different ways, but like I was telling you, I really like to kind of like hand paint my stuff. That's where I find a lot of happiness, you know? Okay, so we're going to kind of bring that back a little bit because it's already naturally like that. That obviously, and then here. There we go. I like to, wherever it naturally is a little bit brighter, kind of enhance that. But then, like here, I actually want to make that darker. So this is where this comes into play. So let's, okay. And then let's bring this guy up. So Command I, invert that guy, and I want to give flowers is slang for give him his respect for the time he put into teaching. Oh, okay. Yeah, right on. Is that how the kids say it these days? Give flowers. All right. I got you. That's a little too much there. Maybe what I want to do is like that. And then I'm going to dial this back in a second, but I'm just trying to kind of like, I find, at least for me, kind of dialing it up real heavy first and then dialing it back slowly, like with the slider. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Oh, sick. Oh, yeah. There we go. Dude, lighting is everything. So it's too much here, but like here, it's really kind of making the eyes really kind of sing, right? At least I think so. The parts that are highlighted are really popping out. Okay, so like that. Yes. Ooh, that's fucking sick. Let me make that a little bit. No, we're going to keep that nice and light. Okay. So, hey, what do you think? I'm not sure what my Tuesday plans are. Christmas is Monday, but maybe we could do our shindig on Tuesday. What do you think about that? You can show people your video stuff you've been making. I also, by the way, one of the things I want to do, I'm not going to do it on this stream because it's been so long since I've done it, but what I want to do is make these lights blink. And I think that would be really legit for posting on Monday maybe. But I it's been so long since I've done it that I really need to kind of go through the process again. I want to do this. Okay. So you let me know. I don't know if you're going to be available on Tuesday, the 26th. I also don't know if I'm going to be available. I got to check with my wife. She's the ultimate boss when it comes to the schedule, especially around the holidays. All right, so let's do a nice bang like that. Cool. Actually, this whole thing is going to need to get adjusted because we're going to have the green and the blue there too. So is that... Oh, see, it just did it again. It switched over. There's this like intensity here, and I don't know what that's from. Oh, it's from my brightness and contrast. Okay. Yo, what's up, Brad Mason? What is going on? Dude, it's still early for you over there. I'm making that skull thing. I'll zoom out in a second so you can kind of take a look at this. There we go. Okay. Ooh. Dude, I'm telling you, seriously, the lighting is... I see the potential here. Okay. So let's do 30%. There we go. Oh my God. It's whoa. Okay, where are you going? Hey now. There we go. Oh my God, that looks like the undead pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean in a Santa hat. Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay, so we're going to do this. we're going to do that. Dude, this is where, like, oh, God, this is, uh, I might need a moment alone, man. This is, I wonder, actually, should I just do this? I'm going to try something. I'm going to put the brightness all the way. And so I'm going to, oh, this is actually darkening everything, right? And then I'm just bringing back the brightness. Okay. And I think this will actually be better because I want this to be kind of the overall dark, overall darken, which I already did there, but that's like the contrast. Let's see what happens if I, yeah, that adds a lot of dark, contrast. Okay. I'll just leave that right now for what it's being called. Oh yeah, see, that's why I had it on the head. Okay. Because I just want it to be affected on the head and not the ground. Okay, cool. So let's do this. This is definitely going to be affected here. Emily says hello because she's here too. Hey, Em, what's going on? Did she watch? I doubt she did. It was a very long thing yesterday, but I kind of felt like she might appreciate the Lightroom thing, given that she's trying to kind of learn that a little bit. Of course, she can always have a private lesson because she's Emily. But that's let's see. Okay, yeah, I got the opacity. There we go. Bring that up. Ooh, sun. Here we go. Okay. So we got that. Let me bring the darkness back down here. So since you guys are just tuning in, what I'm doing is I'm changing the way that the lighting is hitting here. So I got some dark areas. I got some light areas. I put some initial, let me bring that back. I'm working on the darkness right here. I got some initial coloring here. That's not accurate to how it's going to be, but I just have, I just threw in some red to be basically these lights reflecting. So that I kind of have an idea of where I want to enhance. And what you got to do is kind of go with what your photo is naturally doing. So you can see that there's some, like, you see that kind of reflective area there. So obviously that spot needs to be highlighted because that's the way that the photo's naturally kind of leaning. But I have my light source is coming from my major light source that I want are these lights, which I also have to elevate the brightness for. And then there's another light source that was also part of the original image. This is just a whole bunch of composite stuff. So each one of these pieces is different. And so it's just kind of marrying that. So let's see, I'll do as it gets a little further away, then it's not going to be nearly as bright. So we want to, you don't want to go too deep into the weeds. If you end up doing there we go. If you zoom in too much, you're going to pay too close attention to small details that don't necessarily matter. Let's see here. So this for sure. This is the kind of thing that it can take a very long time, but this is where I find I'm my most peace, I think. Small bits. Oh, Jesus Christ, look at that. That is fucking sexy. Okay, I'm going to have a little bit here. Sorry, YouTube, I swore. Whatever. Hey, Brad, are you still watching? I think you are. I want to show you something. Hold on. I'm going to do it. Let me switch over real quick. Okay, Bradley, tell me you're watching. Oop, let me switch this over real quick here. Activate that guy. Okay, come on. Yes, you are. Okay, perfect. Because I want to show you your Christmas present. I'm working on one for Emily too, but I didn't get to finish it. So here's your Christmas present. Merry Christmas. I originally wanted to have this pop up. I wanted to send it to you and Emily, this one, and I got one for Emily. And I wanted originally for this to pop up in like you're opening it for Christmas, but it's nowhere near Christmas. So there you go, buddy. That is for you. All right. So now we're back here. So you gave me, Bradley, you gave me an image that was really great to work with. So the fact that you already had the eyes in and you gave that kind of like evil look, the image made itself. I've been wanting to get a photo of you guys. Secretly, I tried to figure out a way to like have you guys do an image or like take a photo, which you guys did at Disney, and then you got the lightsabers and everything. So I'm going to be working on Emily's. I have been working on Emily's, and I wanted to actually work on that on the live stream, but I was like, well, they might see that. But now I've let the cat out of the bag because you're not going to get it by Christmas. So Merry Christmas. For those that don't know, Bradley is one of the greatest people in the world. And then Emily also is one of the greatest people in the world. And then for that matter, D-Will, who's also in the chat, one of the greatest people in the world. So there you go. A whole bunch of greatest people in the world. I'm lucky to have you guys around. Okay. So here's the other thing. I don't want this to affect... Let's see. Is this actually... Yeah, that's darken. I don't want this to affect this, really. There we go. Way better. And then also, Bradley, the thing about yours was I did not give you a lightsaber because I felt like, well, one, it would detract from it, but I also thought maybe having like a red glow on your face. But I also thought that with the Sith, I mean, they obviously bring their lightsabers out, but they don't like I kind of felt like the lightning hands, like you'd have kind of like you'd use that more than lightsaber. You could definitely take it out, but that's just the character that I have for you, which is what did I call you? Darth Bradus, Darth Bradleyus, Darth Bradus, I think. All right. So let's do this too. Let me bring this back over like that. Okay, cool. All right, so let's bring this back over here. Spend a lot of time on those teeth. Maybe too much, but I like it. I don't think I'm going to finish this today on the live stream, unfortunately. I spent a long time trying to figure out some different lighting things, but that's okay. That's why maybe I'll do another live stream tomorrow. We'll see. Actually, no, probably not, because Maggie and I are going to have a little bit of time together tomorrow, which is going to be super cool. When she's done with work, she's getting out of work early for the holiday. So we're going to go over to a local art shop, and I am going to try to pick up some really cool ass paper to see about writing on some of that, that it's not papyrus, it's like cotton paper that has like the worn edges and stuff. I'm going to give that a shot. So We'll see if they have it. I can get it on Amazon, but I like to. Oh fuck! Sorry, guys. That is nice right there. Oh, shh. Like, okay, sorry. I'm trying to look at this without the bright light on my eyes. Okay, let me do something because I want to see how this will look. So let me work on the red. Okay. So I need to tone that down. So how do I want to do that? Do I just want to bring down the saturation? I think I'll actually bring the saturation down a little bit. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay. Dude, are you kidding me right now? Oh, yeah. Okay, I like that. I like that. Oh, guys. Fuck. Fudge me. Let me go get some fudge because this is sorry. This is sexy. I'm sorry. This is okay. Let me tell you, like I was telling D-Will about this earlier. Let's see. I'll leave that like that. Actually, no, I'm going to do this on the blue. Where is the blue right now? I think it's just, yeah, it's down there. Okay. So let me bring this blue up here and say, Photoshop is what got me really into design, honestly. And we didn't really touch it, to be honest. Let's see, that's soft light. We didn't really touch it in school. We used mostly, let's see, we're going to hard light, vivid light. No. Do I just do normal? I think I'm just going to do normal and then just like dial it down a lot. Let me do that. But let me just bring the darkness down and then the saturation up. Yeah. Oh, you know what? The other thing too is I don't have it colorized. I think that's another part of the problem. Okay. So let's do that and then bring the saturation and say maybe a little bit more blue. Yeah, there we go. So Photoshop is what really got me, interested in being a designer. Being a designer was more of a practical thing because, as you guys know, I got some medical stuff that I wanted to be able to do remotely, and if it came down to it, and there we go. That's not bad. Okay, let me pull this down a little bit. We don't need that much blue up there. Okay, maybe whoops, and then. Yeah, okay. I'm overthinking that. And then, excuse me, sorry, I didn't mean to cough right in your ears. Okay, let's do this and then perfect. And this is going to be green. There we go. So it's going to show blue at the moment, but I just need to change this over to green. That looks like a good green color. I might have to turn the saturation up a little bit, maybe bring down the darkness, or maybe up the lightness rather. Sorry. Okay, this I also want to just affect the head. So maybe I'll bring these back down and put them into the head layer. Yeah. Because what I'm going to do is I want it to affect the head more than the ground, and I don't want to have to, well, I don't know. No, I'll just bring that back up, and then I'll just dial it down up there. Okay, sorry, guys. What was I saying? It was probably something very profound. I know that I was getting real geeky about, there we go. Oh, okay. Oh, let me try this. Soft light. Yeah, that's not going to be quite right. Okay, so let me just do normal. This is the thing about, at least for me, I've found that a lot of times I have to play around, especially with the overlays. and adjustment layers. I'm sure there is so many people that know how to do this better than I do. But it's just a matter, let's see, bringing down. It does make a difference based off of the color that you choose and what's underneath, and then, what kind of blending mode you choose. I'm going to say green. Cool. Anyway, yeah, I just Photoshop's my baby. Like it's like I said, I'm not stellar with it, and I'm trying to get better with it, which is where these live streams come in. It's a struggle. It's one of the things that I remember kind of who I'm talking to. I've realized with my stuff is I'm talking to younger Dave, where, when you graduate, when you're done and you see all these people, you see these videos that people are making these awesome things, and that needs to be adjusted. I don't really like that. Is it maybe the lightness? Maybe it's the lightness. It's also on. Maybe like that. I don't know. I'll play around with it. I really like the red. I feel like the red is the one that's really hitting for me. Let me do a yellow just to see how that works. But that's kind of sick. Okay. Let me do. Okay, perfect. But I'm kind of talking to him, I guess, because at least I know what he would have wanted to know, as far as like, you see all these people that have these great, like Aaron. We were just talking about Aaron Nace. He's a Photoshop guy. He was the godfather. I call him the godfather of Photoshop on YouTube, because he was one of the first ones to pop up with this kind of stuff. And, he was really good about showing you the being transparent about it. Yellow. There we go. But, you see guys like another guy that I used to look up to a lot when I was in school was, oh my God, what is his name? Well, what's his name? You know his name. Oh, he did the website Abdubzido. Is that right? Oh my God, he was a lead designer at Google for a while. He's a Brazilian guy. God, I can't think of his name. Okay, so let's do this. I'll figure it out. That guy goes like that. And then let's do green again, and we'll just do green here. Perfect. Oh, that's starting to. Okay, cool. And then we're going to do yellow. Okay. All right, there it is. Now let's do a little bit of yellow up here. And then there would be a little bit of green. This is where it gets real sick. Oh God, what is his name? Well, you don't know it. I mean, you might know it, but you're not coming up with it, so that's okay. Oh, it's gonna drive me mad. Hold on. Ooh, look at our stats. Abdub. I don't think it's called Abdubzido. That's not it, but it'll pop up. There we go. Fabio Sasso. There it is. About Adobsiso. Whatever. That thing. I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah, Fabio Sasso. He's got some really cool stuff. I want to go to the website though. Oh, it is ABDZ. Oh, he went back to the black background. Nice. Okay. That was one of the things I loved about his website stuff was it was a black website, which was very rare. And then, I don't know, a few years ago, he changed it to white. And It was fine, but it felt like every other website. I shouldn't say it like that, but you know what I mean. Like every other website is a white background. There's a reason why my 124 Productions website has a black background. Bum, bum, bum. Which I find sick, honestly. Go away. Look at this. You see the black background there? I feel like it's just like it's sleeker. It's more impactful, at least for me. I also like dark mode on everything because I feel like the white's too bright. Anyway, that's not what this is about. Let's see. How's our live stream doing? Average view duration, 30 minutes. 13 views. Look at that. Concurrent viewers, 4. Okay, cool. All right, let's get back. Oh, fresh eyes on this thing is sick. Okay, so we're moving right along. Moving right along. Let's see. Do we have any yellow? We don't, but I know there's going to be a yellow up here. Oh, wait, that's green. Okay, so let's bring that back. Okay, and then yellow is going to be just a little bit. You're not really going to notice it. This is one of those like details that I don't need to put in because nobody's really going to notice, but I'll know. Okay, so I am loving this skull right now, guys, especially the teeth. Okay. All right, so this is yellow, and we're going to bring this over just a little bit. This, again, is one of those things where just that little bit makes all the difference. And because this, the yellow is the closest one right over here, I'm having that be probably the most impactful because of 2 reasons. One, it's right there. It's going to be the one that's going to illuminate the most. Also, I kind of want it to, blend with the other colors. I feel like it'll do a pretty good job. Let's see. It's going to right there. Okay. And then maybe just a smidge right there. Okay. And then just like one little dot there because it's not going to like make it over his face like that. And actually, now that I've done that, I'm going to bring dial that back just a little bit. And then we're going to bring that over here. Yep, I got the white painting in. Okay, cool. Oop, too much. Let's see. We got soft brush. This is where I would actually turn down the opacity too. So now I just switched down I have been painting with a flow of 10. And I got the opacity down to 30 now, which is still pretty high, honestly, because most of the time, there we go. Like a 30 or 40% of opacity is usually still pretty kind of high. Okay, let's see. We're going to do this like that. There we go. Just some happy little teeth. Would Bob Ross do this? That's what I want to know. I'm asking the tough questions here. Okay. Just put a little Band-Aid on his teeth here. Happy little teeth. Okay. So I have the red. Yeah, you can see the red is up in the gums. And that's not coming from this light. It's coming from the red light below, which means that actually, let me bring back the red. Let me do this a little bit. You can see it's down here. Okay. And it would definitely be here for sure. Got the white on. Cool. More so there. A little bit there like that. Definitely down there. A little bit here, but the hair is going to be throwing that off a little bit. Maybe just a little bit like that. What do you guys think? I like it. Okay, maybe just like this. Okay, so let's add some of the blue. All right. Here we go. And then, wait a minute. So that's without any blue. And this has blue in it already. So actually, I don't really need to do that too much. The green hasn't really made it into the mouth. So let me make sure that I Kind of bring some of the green in. That's definitely going to add a lot of sickness to it, like a lot of that sickly look. There we go. Especially with the yellow and the green together. Let's see. So that's going to come up like that. Let me bring back my opacity to 100%. That's actually that might be too much. Let me bring it up to 80%. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay. That actually still might be too much, but I can always dial it back. Same way. There we go. Yeah, okay, that's a little too high. So let's go to 60%. Okay, yep, it's making some impact. There we go. Maybe have that be like this. I feel like the wavelength of green would be a little bit more intense than the yellow, and it'd make its way a little bit more intense onto the teeth. At least that's the way that I'm gonna run this. And so you can see here that there's a little bit more reflection on the tooth there. Tooth enamel is can be very reflective. So, just keep that in mind. And then the biggest thing here is, where is the light hitting? What's the shape of the teeth? Where is the light in relation to the teeth? What's in the way of the other teeth? So like I said, there wouldn't really be much over here. So these teeth should actually probably be much darker. So that's what I'm going to do next. That's actually too much. I just put way too much green on that. Okay. Bring this up here just a little like that. There we go. And this one would actually also kind of be up in the gums a little bit. Not as much as the red, but it definitely is making an impact up there. Cool. All right. And then the blue, ooh, look at that. Wow. Without the blue, that actually gets really, ooh, I like that. Okay. So what I have to do here is, originally what I had done, I'm going to redo the blue. Because originally what I did was, the blue was just to throw some color in there, just so I could kind of get an idea, which is something that I like to do a lot, is just throw paint on the wall and see, is this going to work? And then I'm essentially like doing a color swatch, and then I'll go back, which is what I'm going to do right now, and kind of do the detail work. That for me is a really good workflow. Is there we go. Let's see, the blue's going to be up in there. So it helps me to, before I start getting involved too much in any given thing. I feel like that's, maybe I put it over here a little too much. That's just part of my workflow. It's how I've worked well. Okay, there we go. Let's see, the blue is going to be hit here for sure. Whoops. There we go. Okay. I think I got it figured out how I want to have this done. And so much of this is just figuring out your own workflow. And like I was saying, like, the guy that I'm talking to in a lot of these videos is myself when I was younger. Oh, you know what? I think this needs to be darker. That also might be part of my problem, that the blue is too vibrant. Maybe. Oh, you know what? I also have the vibrance, or the opacity down really low. What do I have it on for these guys? Here, red is soft light. Blue, let's see what happens if I put blue at soft light here. I think it really threw stuff off up top, though. I think that's what my issue was. Okay. Yeah, the darkness is where I want it to be. There we go. So I just need this blue to be on here a little bit. Anyway, like I was saying, the stuff that I wish that I kind of knew when I graduated, I felt like I was supposed to know everything. And, you know, you don't realize that you're not actually supposed to know everything. And it's just kind of, I know what I was thinking then. And I know there's other, especially students that are graduating and they don't know, or young professionals that don't really know what they don't know. And all they see is the social media engine of people that have quote unquote made it, you know, and they're selling their services already. So yes. Okay. That is excellent. Give me 1 second. Okay. It's getting a little cold in here. I'm not going to go all the way in and turn up the heat. All right. That's looking pretty good. I still don't love it up here. This green up here. It's the way that it's hitting the hat. I'll probably work on that offline at some point because I'm going to have to play around. Okay, so let's go to, that's the blue for the teeth. I'm going to see if I can just apply the same blue up here. I might be able to. Yeah, that's going to work. Yeah, that's totally fine. Cool. Nice. Oh, it would also come down here just a little bit, but I don't want to remove that from the red. Okay, and then of course in here. The other thing too is this is hair. And so I don't want it to be like just a blanket of color there, because as the light goes through, it's going to diffuse and it's going to only touch. I mean, these aren't super bright. So I don't want them to like penetrate or just look like it's a blanket. Like if the lights were above it and facing down, then that would be different. But I'm just trying to get the indication that there is color here. So it would be obviously right up in the front here. It would be the, the closest area, but that's also, let's see, do I have that? One of the things that I'll have to do, I want to keep that like that. That's, let me just double check. I just hit my sound. Okay. Yeah, it still looks good. Okay. Bum, bum, ba, bump, dump, down. If it wasn't copyright infringement, then I would actually play music while we do this. But, like Christmas music, that'd be a lot of fun. But, copyright law and all that stuff and YouTube algorithm. Okay, let's see. So if I were to, dude, those teeth. Oh, yes. Okay, so that's the darken. So let me get back to brightening up certain layers, because that's how, depending on, like, obviously this would be much brighter because of all the light that's going into it. Okay, cool. So I'm going to say burn. So those that don't know, there's a thing called dodge and burn. It's the old school way, what you would do, especially in photography. There's a dodge and burn method. And dodging is brightening and burning is darkening. And it's got to do with the old film what you would do to film. Oh wait, this is my dodge layer, so I'm going to be lightning. So typically one of the things that you'll do is if you do a burn layer, or if you do like a darkness layer, you'll do the opposite. And so then you're hitting both ends of the spectrum. That's actually a brightness, isn't it? Yeah, it's a brightness contrast. I'm going to do the same thing, actually. I don't usually do brightness contrast. I usually do curves adjustment layers, but let's do a brightness and bring that guy up like this. Okay. Perfect. And then I want this thing to be overall dark. And then, but just obviously certain areas are going to be a lot brighter because of the way that the lights are hitting. So one of the ways that I can get these lights to hit better is by making the underlying layer brighter. Let's see this guy. Okay, so this burn layer, perfect. Let's see. No, not quite. So I'm going to just do like this because there's going to be a little bit of light coming in here from this side. I'm going to consider that to be like moonlight, I guess. Oh, and this definitely needs to be brightened up because the lower lights, wait a minute, that's going to be the burn. I want to block that out here. Cool. So just the edges really for the most part. Cool. There we go. Oh, and then maybe just like a little bit up in here. Oh, Bradley and Emily, have you guys watched oh shoot, Violent Christmas? I was talking about it earlier. It might be my new favorite Christmas movie. It's it's a violent Christmas, that's for sure. I think Bradley would like it more than Emily. It's not your grandfather's Christmas story. But it tickled me. It was a really good time. Maggie and I are going to end up watching oh my god. Okay, D Will, do you see this? 4 times I've hit the zoom button. There we go. And it kept switching over to the brush afterwards. No reason. Just does it. We were also talking about Christmas Carol earlier. Hey D, if you're still there, what's your number 1 Christmas movie? It could be anything. You could say Die Hard too. I know Die Hard also. I know there's a lot of people that say that's a Christmas movie. I honestly don't really know. I don't really remember it much. I know I shouldn't admit to that. Some say that is the greatest Christmas movie. Let's see. So, you know what? We'll do that. Yeah, I knew you were going to say Die Hard. All right. So let's see. There's a socket like that. All right. Brightness. Gonna bring that guy up like this. Okay. MacGruber. Oh, hi, Cat. Is it 5:30? That's getting close. Chloe is back. Are you gonna jump? There's nowhere for you to be. Come on. Come on. Come say hi. Let's go. All right. You lost your opportunity, Cat. All right. So, yeah. Here's part of the problem. This thing is so dark that I'm having a hard time seeing it. And it's not, oh my God, come on. It's not just because of That's not bad. It's not just because of this bright light that's next to me. I mean, that doesn't help, but all right. So we got, maybe what I got to do is dial down that burn. Or do I even have it at all? Maybe I just don't have it at all. What do you think? I think maybe I just don't have that at all. All right. That's a good idea. Thanks, guys. Definitely going to have that, though. Okay, so maybe what I do is, because I want this to be like really intense. How's that look? That looks pretty good. All right, let's get back to the red. Red wouldn't really be here too much. But we're getting there, guys. We are getting there. The red's not really going to be here at all, to be quite honest. But I do love me some of that red. I like how it's hitting on stuff. So the blue I've already added into there. The green. And that like that, maybe. Maybe dial that back a little bit here. Okay, and then got some yellow. Oh, there is no, oh yeah, actually there's a little yellow one here, which I actually have to give, right now it's a red one, but I'm going to have to switch that out. Add some yellow here, like that. Again, one of those things that you aren't really going to see this, that yellow, but it's the small details. Okay. Blue, got a little bit of blue there, got definitely the red. Yellow is in there, the green. I don't think like the blue is really getting. There we go. Add a little bit more yellow here. I also have to, on this yellow, bring those back up to 100%. Oh wait, this is on the head though, huh? Oh no, this is on the whole thing. Okay, I'm trying to remove this green, and because the green was actually part of the AI fill, so it doesn't have to 100% remove it. I just kind of want to suck some of the green off of there. All right, now let me go back down to the Christmas lights just real quick so I can change the lights so that bottom right becomes yellow. Whoa. Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay. It automatically was yellow. I had turned it red. There we go. That's why there's no yellow. There we go. Perfect. Let me just double check because I did hit my USB cable and okay, good. This is very sensitive. This cable, sometimes it will even if it's still fully in, is just like the Yeti. I gotta say this, the Yeti is real good, but it's also very sensitive to not actually being fully plugged in or registering, I guess. Guys, what do we think? I don't know if, let's see. Whoops, wrong button. I don't know if I'm overthinking it. Let me, hold on a sec. You know what? Actually, I'm going to go dark here for just a second. You might still be able to see me a little bit, but not by much. Oh, damn. Guys, what do you think? Do you think that that's actually... There's a couple little things. definitely a couple little things like I got to pull off some of the color here and actually maybe add some of the color on the ground, and then I want to darken some of this, but I think overall that's actually looking better than I thought it was looking. There's obviously things where I'm losing my mind over that I really like, but I actually thought that I had a lot further to go, but this actually looks pretty damn good. This lighting right here, that needs to be darkened. The ground. Okay, let me knock that stuff out. Whoops. There we go. Okay. Back on. Sorry guys, you're gonna have to look at my face again. Yeah. Okay. I Thanks, D Will. I appreciate that. It's definitely coming together nice, he says. Um yeah, I agree. I think this is coming together real well. One of the things that I'm trying to make sure that I don't do is overcomplicate it. And it's one of those things that I've learned that I can go far too heavy and just, you know how it is. It's there's always more that you can do to it. And I'm trying to play that game of balance. There we go. Add some more like that. Because it is definitely, there we go. You know what? I'm going to turn down my face again. It's up. I'm going to turn this way down. I'm going to turn my ISO way up so you guys can see me a little bit better. I'm going to wait for the adjustment because I can't see myself right now. I think that might be good. I just adjusted the ISO. Oh, yeah. I can see this way better now. Okay. There we go. Okay. So this is going to have a little bit. There we go. Okay. Cool. There it is. There it is. Okay. So that's going to like project better. There we go, guys. We're loving it. Okay, so let me adjust this guy. I think that's the right direction. I think that's increasing. We'll find out in a second. Oh, you know what? I can just find out right now. Yep. Okay, that looks good. I don't know what my ISO is set at. There we go. Yeah. It's probably real high, but you guys are I'm just a little tiny box. Okay, there it is. There it is. Fuck yeah. Guys, there's something about light that's just like so good. That's honestly one of the things that I like about doing Jedi kind of stuff, like the lightsaber. Some of my thumbnails, I've definitely had that kind of look to it. Especially my podcast ones where it's like my circle and then around it is the like bright kind of magenta color and then the blue. Also, Brad, if you're still there, I know you're working. I can only imagine that you're working. But let me know if you'd prefer to have some lightsaber glow on your face or something. I'd be happy to. Oh shoot! I'd be happy to incorporate that. If that's how Darth Bradius would represent himself, you know. So let's see. That's going to be like that there. One of the small things that I really like about light is you can help tell the story. And I know this is going to sound really overly artsy fartsy, but I'm going to tell the story of this dirt. Come on. Okay, that's 2, 3, 4. There we go. 5th time, and it'll let me zoom in. So like you can show that it's not the story of the dirt, but like up here, I don't want this to turn green, and it is turning green because it's overpowering the yellow. You know what? I should probably actually, it already has yellow, but I'm going to add a, let's see, hue saturation. I'm going to add a yellow layer and just repaint this. Because what I want is not for that to be overly affected. And I think if I give it its own color, yellow, and not the base color that it gave me, I feel like that'll help maybe a little bit. Thanks, Bradley. Ooh, there we go. All right, cool. So, whoops, got that. Emily's a Jedi, by the way, because I knew that she would be. Bum, bum, bum. I was kind of hoping that I had to take the other photo, unless you know that she hasn't. You better. There we go. Unless, so what I'm doing, Bradley, is I'm taking the photo of the two of you guys with your lightsabers crossed, but you're looking at the camera and you have the Millennium Falcon in the background. And so I'm taking that one and I scaled her up so that it's more just on her, and I'm adjusting the lightsaber angle. And then I did some other funny business to make it work. Let's see. What is this? Yeah, that's normal. That's normal. That's fine. Okay. So let's do, gotta call these yellow. Ooh, come on. Get out of my way. That I don't like. Okay, so got some yellow. Anyway, I was saying like the story of the dirt. Story is not really the right word, but like I don't want the green to overtake the yellow, so I can kind of contour that there's like a little mound there, even though there isn't a mound. I know that sounds dumb, but I actually want these to kind of mix. And why is that not? Something is blocking that. Is that red? Oh, there's red there. That's why. Bum, bum, ba, da, ba, 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 doo. There it is. Okay, cool. Bum, bum, ba, da, ba, 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 doo. Okay, that's getting there. Ba, da, ba, da, ba, 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 doo. Oh, wrong direction. Okay. Yes, there it is. There it is. Oh, guys. Sorry. Sorry, that's loud. I know. I'm sorry. So sorry. Oh, I'm already kind of like at the yellow level, like for the peaking. It's not peaking, but you know, whatever. Because I am talking kind of low at a lot of stages, so I'm very sorry, especially if you're wearing headphones. Okay, so the red's looking good. blue is kind of overtaking the green a little bit. So let me dial that back just a smidge. Not by too much though, because see here's another thing to think about if you're doing this. Hey, let me just double check something. Yeah, okay. The green is facing northward, so it's going to project most of its light northward and directly to the sides, and a little bit of overlap. Whereas the blue is going to be facing this way. That's something I might play with too. But I don't want the blue to overtake it so much. So if I take yeah, you see how that's interesting. If I take the blue away, then the green actually gets much more illuminated. So let me take the blue away up here. There we go. That's better. That's better. Okay. It's not an exact science, guys. Bum, bum, ba, da, ba, bum, dum. Okay. Perfect. Yes. Oh, that's sexy. Oh, okay. And then the yellow again. Okay, cool. Cool. I can get behind that. Okay. And then maybe a little bit more yellow this way. And then maybe a little like just a smidge there because it's not really going to do its thing. Okay. And then red gets a little more attention this way. Bum, bum, ba, da, ba, bum, ba, do. Cool. Very nice. Okay. And then the blues. I recently just shared this on LinkedIn. I've been kind of not sure how I should promote myself on LinkedIn. I got because there's like this is valuable, you know? I mean, it's valuable to the right person. People that are trying to, you know, want to kind of get going, but there's like, I don't know, it's more of like a business place, obviously. But I'm trying to figure out what content I really want to share of, like this isn't really, it is and it isn't business related in the sense that I view this kind of stuff. One of the things that I'm trying to do with 124, one of the pillars that I have is craftsmanship and education, or it's actually empowerment through education. So D-Will can attest to this, maybe too much so in the eyes of a standard business. I believe very highly in educating the people about their role. And, you know, wait a minute, this is the blue, in the blue here. Educating people in their role and training them to the degree where they feel confident in what they're doing. So this is kind of like empowering people to, because nobody wants to suck. Nobody wants to feel like they suck at stuff. And this isn't geared towards any particular person. But I mean, I've been thrown to the wolves. I don't know how many stupid times. And, you know, it's just like, yeah, there's some value in being thrown to the wolves. Why is this not? Hold on a second. There we go. So I'm trying to figure out how to market myself, my not 124, but oh wait, why am I adding blue? Why is blue? Oh, blue is that one. Gotcha. Okay. Why is blue and green making purple? Let's do this. Anyway, I kind of see this as the arm of 124 that kind of like helps with the education side of stuff. And I feel like that's important to also share on LinkedIn. But I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out. Okay, let's go back like that. I feel like this set of colors here, actually, I feel like all the colors now that I got this dialed back, I feel like are too intense. Okay, well, I think we can solve that pretty easily. I take those light colors and do normal. Oh, wait, why is that? Oh, yeah, obviously. Okay, so then just bring down the... It doesn't look too bad there. So we got yellow here, red here. I mean, that makes sense. They're kind of more bunched up here. I'm going to let that sit. And then let's see. So, okay, where's my... There it is. Okay. I need to... Not the dirt. Whoa, it's creepy. Oh, yes. Okay. So I need to make some of these much darker. And the beard actually looks good for brightness. Here we go. This guy. So this needs... Here we go. Okay, so this guy needs to be darker. Whoops. That's way too much. That's not right either. Whoops. Need to bring that up. Oh, wait, that's the darkness. That's why. You know what else I'm going to do here? No, you don't. Because I haven't told you yet. Okay. So this guy, that's the... I don't know why that's there like that. So let's remove that there. And then let's make this darker. There we go. Is that even doing anything? There it is. Okay, cool. Let's remove that there. So I'm also going to make a little bit of a shadow here. So just underneath, just a little bit. I don't want to make it too obvious because especially the lights there are going to create enough brightness so that the shadow wouldn't really show. This also really right here, I think. There we go. Damn. Oh, shit. That's sorry, that's nice. Let's see. And then here, and one of those small things that you probably would never notice. Let's see if that makes a difference. I think so. But the hat, actually, yep, it's got a little something there like the dirt. Okay, cool. So you just got to take, there's a little bit of dirt here, which is from the hat. So I just need to kind of pull that away so that you can see the dirt behind it, because when we did this hat, it had the AI on it, right? So it had added, there we go. Whoops. It had added the, perfect. There we go. It had added the original dirt as part of the AI thing. This doesn't look right to me. And I don't know if it's like, I don't want it to just be a rainbow, you know? And I feel like there's an awful lot of rainbow going on here. Like right here, it looks too intense. I don't know if it's the bright, I bet you it's the brightness. That's probably what it is. Like I want there to be, yeah, that's exactly what it is. It needs to taper off up here. So it's definitely going to mix here, but it's not tapering. So that's what it is. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. You guys are the best. Okay. So let me actually do something. This is, if you were here in the beginning, I had mentioned that you can do things individually, masks. You can do masks individually, like here. And then if they're part of a group, then you might just want to do a group mask. And in the other case, I had done it with individual masks, just like I have been. But what I want to do right now, this is a perfect example of using it for the group. So they're already in a group, the light colors layers, so red, blue, yellow, and green. These are the individual masks. So you can see the white spots are where they're showing up. And so what I'm going to do is take this guy here, and I made a group, because what I want to do here is, let me just make sure. Yeah, I think it's all underneath. That's my cat. Can you hear her? Yeah. So what I want to do is flow of 10, I'll say 20 opacity, and I'm going to black out just a little bit by the skull, because I don't want those things. I want to like tone down here, and I'm actually going to make it a very big brush, because as it goes from the center, no, Chloe, as it goes from the center, yeah, that's already getting better. Okay, cool. As it's going from the center, then it's going to fade away with the way that I have this brush. Oop, yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Beautiful. Way better. Way better. Okay, cool, 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 guys. That's a little goes a long way. I'm going to have to do that a little bit with the beard, I think, because there's a lot of color hitting that beard. I think it's a little too intense, especially right up in here. But I'm going to have to do that a little differently. So, okay, so if I turn this off, you can see how bright it was. Now it's on. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay, way, 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 way better. Nice. Okay, that's what we're talking about. It's all about subtlety. And I'm going to do the same kind of thing over here. And I'm just going to take off, whoops, off of the canvas, because I just want the very edge to be kind of tapered, just to kind of, it helps blend things in a little bit more too. That's the secret sauce right there. It's barely hitting the canvas. You can actually see the mask over here, but just a little bit at a time. That's what it takes. Oh, come on. Oh, this is running into issues. It's there we go. It's super laggy now. Wait, last time we had super laggy. My software decided to do the backup. But I have that off. Okay, good. And then, oh, can you still hear me? Yes, you can. Okay. Again, I hit that USB cable. Okay, so I'm hitting the full. There we go. F for full screen, which lets me grab and move this wherever I want to. So like that, because my face is right down over here. So I realized yesterday, after I had looked at the live stream that I did yesterday that some of the stuff that I was pointing out on the photos, whoops, some of the stuff that I was pointing out on the photos, you couldn't see because my head was in the way. So, how about them apples? Okay, so just a little bit goes a long way. There it is. Okay, so I'm definitely going to tone that down. There we go. Just a little bit like this. I feel like that's way too much. Wait, where's blue? Why does blue look so not blue? No, that didn't get affected. Well, actually, it did a little bit. A little bit too much up here, but guess what? You just paint back with white, and that'll bring back some of that stuff. So we're actually just going to do it right along here because that's where the colors would be the most intense. So I'm just making sure that that's white is right there. I don't think the blue would really be affected there so much. I feel like it would be mostly left and right and not so much here. But I'm going to leave it alone for now because you guys don't need to be here for those like smaller adjustments. Let's see what happens if I intensify the saturation. I like that better. I like that better. It's a much more intense blue, which I like. Okay. So this one I feel like needs to have a little bit more blue there. So let's bring that back just very slowly. That's good. That's good, guys. Okay. All right. What do you guys think? I think that is a good place to stop. I'm not going to finish this on this live stream. There's a couple things that I need to change, like the beard that needs some additional attention for the color. Let's see. We'll do this and we'll do full screen here. There we go. Overall, oh, we don't want that. Go away. Overall, I think that is looking damn good. Definitely some things that I need to play around with, but I think I need fresh eyes on it too. Otherwise, I'm going to go back and forth on some things and overdo some of the edits. Like over in the bottom right, I need to bring back the red because it looks like, oh no, it would have been, oh, I was right when I had it as red. Right? Blue, red, yellow, green, blue. Yeah, that should be red. And I took it away. I took it away at some point with an hour ago, half an hour ago, whenever it was. And the bottom right should be red, but that's easy enough to bring back. So I think I'm going to leave this here right now. Do me a favor, if you guys wouldn't mind. I'm trying to get these things to be a little bit more impactful. I want to be able to reach more people. So if you guys would hit the like on the screen, I'd appreciate that. You guys have been amazing with commenting and being part of the conversation and sticking with me while I'm doing this stuff. Dude, that's fucking sick. Fresh eyes, even when I look just from you to it. Like, honestly, that's the kind of, I might honestly put that in that spot over there. But if you guys could please do me a favor and like the video if you liked it. But I know that the people, at least in the chat, are my buddies, to be honest. And I appreciate your help. And then share it with whoever you think might get some use out of these kinds of things. I would like to do more live streams. It's not going to be every day. But I want to kind of do these longer, 2-hour stretches of live streams to kind of work through processes. And sometimes I'm going to be joined by different people, like D Will, and working on different things. So if you just share it with somebody else that you think might enjoy creative kind of stuff like this, I'd appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks, guys. So there is Buried Santa, not quite done, but keep an eye on the socials on Instagram and Facebook. I'll probably throw it on LinkedIn too. Honestly, I don't know if I'll do that, but for sure Instagram and LinkedIn. I'll have to recrop this because this isn't at the Instagram. What is it, a 4x5 or something? It's close, but it's not quite. I think it needs to be a little thinner for that. But I'll print this up. I actually have an idea of. I think what I'm going to start doing with some of my stuff is for my patrons is have like a signature and then sell it if they want it eventually at some point. But thanks everybody. I appreciate it. Let me get off this guy and yeah, you guys, there we go. Yeah, let me just go over here. Yeah, that looks pretty damn good. Nice. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time, be good to each other.